Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. So I know we made a video about Tilaya a couple of days ago talking about her major issues. Her major kit revolves around huge shields for herself, self-shielding, but also at the cost of her health. She's going to have very low amount of health. But the problem with that is true damage completely bypasses shields. That's just how true damage works in this game. And so if you run Tilaya in PvP and the opponent has any form of true damage, they're going to cut through the shields and immediately be killing your Tilaya very early on. So this is the major problem and why it's really awkward to even recommend building up Tilaya, because she will have a lot of really bad matchups. However, there is another side of the coin. If the opponent doesn't have true damage on their team and you want to bring out Tilaya in PvP, then there are some interesting things to think about in that area. However, I first want to talk about the key game modes which people are looking at, which are boss content, Dream Realm and Ravaged Realm. Now, for both of these game modes, it's almost certain that Tilaya will never see usage. She doesn't have high damage multipliers. She's more of like a bruiser with massive shielding and unkillable, and then eventually even defensive buffs for your team. But in Dream Realm, you don't want defensive buffs, you want offensive buffs. So for Dream Realm and Ravaged Realm, it's probably out of the question that she's ever going to see usage. There could be some really strange boss mechanic that needs like self-shielding or, just massive shielding to convert into damage or something like that. But until something like that comes out, there are going to be problems. Now, probably for Labyrinth, Arcane Labyrinth, if you guys know the Exodia strategy in Arcane Labyrinth, which is not even important, but it's just an interesting thing to bring up, is all revolving around shielding and getting Verdict Shield like Crest, which converts your shields into true damage. And so things like that is where Tilaya is going to shine. But like currently in any important game mode right now, you cannot do anything like that. There's nothing you can do with your massive shields other than just tank damage, and you can't even tank true damage. True damage is going to eat through. It just completely bypass your shields. That is a problem with Tilaya. For AFK stages, there's no proven usage as of right now. So like, even if you're thinking, oh, maybe she's good for AFK stages, you definitely want to wait. She has 21 days on her banner, where VN server is going to be moving into the next season. We'll see her, if she's in AFK stages in the next season, we'll see, or anything like that. So there's plenty of time to wait on that. So like, if you're thinking about AFK stages, because there's no proven usage there, you should not be building her right now. You can wait until the end of her rate of recruitment and decide. And for PvP as well, I would definitely say wait. But now, where can she actually shine to an extent in PvP is when the enemy doesn't have true damage. So like, those enemy Marcel teams, even right now, Marcel is really strong in PvP. If you have a Tilaya and the opponent doesn't have any form of true damage, it could be possible that your Tilaya just duels and eventually basically can out sustain all the damage that the enemy is going to inflict you with. If you guys even remember some of the early days of Marcel testing, we saw that Daemon is a really effective hero against Marcel, and sometimes Marcel can just not take down the Daemon because Marcel lacks the damage. And that can be the same type of thing when you're facing up against Tilaya. If the enemy lacks the damage, they don't have true damage, then it could be possible that you can just never kill the Tilaya and you could stall out. So that is some of the interesting factor. Like, she can stall out your team, and eventually she could maybe even kill your whole team. And even maybe 1v5, but like the damage is really low, and so if your team has any sustain, if it has any shielding, if it has any healing, Tilaya's not going to be able to 1v5 you. It'll just become a stall out, but it'll be like a 90-second match stall out if you do not have the true damage to actually kill her, or if you don't have just the raw damage to actually kill her. So that could be that's some angle you can think about. If any time in the future we do get a shift to a stall meta, then there's potential with Tilaya, because Tilaya is a stall hero. She's basically a stall hero. Huge shielding, but the problem with it is that it doesn't even work in stall, because like you can just counter it with true damage. Like, the problem honestly is that shield is just a very weak sort of like if you want to call it a stat or whatever it is. It just has a major weakness against true damage, and I don't know if there was maybe like a lack of foresight when all of these mechanics were basically applied to AFK Journey. But like, the problem is shielders are always going to be at a big disadvantage. Maybe not if it didn't consume their own health, but if you're consuming health for a even bigger shield, it's just really bad for you when you're facing true damage, because the true damage just looks right at your health amount. It doesn't care about your shield amount. It's just gonna completely bypass that. So that is the thing. But like for Stroll meta, she has this really potentially powerful stalling plus 10 exclusive equipment, which is that when her shield remains active for 15 seconds, which is already tough because like there's no Stroll meta right now. But then after that, then she buffs up your allies by 40% health, 60% defenses. There's a lot of value there if there was a Stroll meta. But the problem is I just do not see how a Stroll meta is ever going to form. Until somehow you can actually get the full value out of your shields and use your shield to like take some true damage. Otherwise, I don't understand how is there ever going to be a Stroll meta revolving around shielding when you can just bring a true damage dealer and cut through everything like butter. That's basically the issue of this style of a kit. Fully basing on shield and at the cost of your own health, and then just completely being susceptible to true damage. And because you have such a Stroll oriented kit, there's no Stroll meta right now. I think there's a potential that sometime in the future there could be a Stroll meta. Like you might be thinking, oh well, doesn't Alna make a Stroll meta? No, Alna just makes like hypercarriers which didn't have enough survival, just makes them actually meta and usable. That's what Alna does. Alna is not there for a Stroll meta. Alna is there just to protect your key hypercarries. And yeah, maybe the match is going to go on for 25 or 30 seconds rather than 15 or 10 seconds. But the match is going to be ending. It's not like you're going to have a 60-second match and no hero on either side of the team is going to die. And you know, that's Stroll meta, right? And that is the only way a Tilaya type strategy can work, in my opinion. And the problem is true damage just will prevent that from ever happening for Tilaya. So like for me, obviously I've taken her to Supreme plus 10 exclusive equipment, but that's like the bare minimum for a high spending whale. You're just gonna build all the heroes. But like honestly, I could have not even gotten a single copy of her, and it's probably not gonna have any impact on my account. So basically for the majority of players out there, it's a complete skip. And you can wait and see for the rest of this banner. If anything changes, if there's any meta usage of her, I'll definitely update you guys. And people are watching out for AFK stages and things like that. But even in AFK stages, it seems a little bit not guaranteed, because like let's say okay, you do want her incredible tankiness. I think it's just maybe if some AFK stage needs incredible tankiness to take the onslaught of the enemy team, then there's some potential there, because she probably can out-tank enemies who do not have true damage, who just have regular damage, like in AFK stages. She probably can tank them, maybe more effectively than any other hero. I'm not sure about that even, but there's a potential there. And then also providing those other tanky buffs for the rest of your allies. So there's some potential for AFK stages, but it does seem to be very niche. And even if it is required, but if it is required, then you would, probably need to invest into her. But yeah, and like for niche uses like that, or even niche in PvP, it's just not a worthy investment. So that's basically the thing. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about Tilaya in the comment section down below. Hopefully this is helpful in educating your decision. Definitely she's a hero that is, in my eyes right now, an easy skip, and at the very best, or at the very highest, she is a wait and see until the end of the banner and then decide then. That's basically it. And if anything major changes, I will make an updated video about that. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and feel free to let me know your thoughts about Tilaya in the comment section down below. But anyway, guys, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser. And whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.